Hello everyone, I'm Dragons After Dark, and today we're continuing our pet collecting around Azeroth and Beyond series with the Isle of Quel'Danas, Eversong Woods, and the Ghostlands. We're doing this 100% by zone, which will cover everything from wild pets to achievements, dungeons, quests, rare drops, and so on. During the video, we'll be going over the locations of the pet, different skins, and suggested breeds. Keep in mind for the breeds, it's purely a suggestion on my part, but I will be giving a short explanation on why I'd choose that particular breed. Overall, most pets are filler, so breed isn't super important, and you can always go back and catch another if you find you need a different one, so don't stress too much about it. Also, I will mention if a pet is cageable, so if you don't want to farm for it, you can just stop by your local auction house and grab one. So, let's get started. According to Wowpedia, the Isle of Quel'Danas, also known as the Sunwell Isle or simply Quel'Danas, is a zone north of the Eastern Kingdoms and is one of 3 areas that make up Quel'Danas. The island's highlights include the Sunwell Plateau, the site of the sacred Sunwell from which Kil'jaeden is being summoned, Magister's Terrace, the place Kael'thas, Sunstrider, made his final stand, and Sun's Reach, a town reclaimed by a combination of Alder and Scryer forces known as the Shattered Sun Offensive. The pet level here is not applicable because as far as my research could tell, there are no wild pets on the isle or in the raid and dungeon. Sunwell Plateau is the 25-man raid introduced at the end of the Burning Crusade, and it will have 3 pets for you: the Chaos Pup, the Sunblade Micro Defender, and the Wretched Servant. And these 3 pets are part of the Raiding with Leashes 3 Drinking from the Sunwell achievement, which will reward the non-combat pet Cutie seen to the right. The Chaos Pup comes in 1 skin, 1 breed, and is considered low utility on Xufu's pet guides, only showing up in 9 strategies at the moment. It has a 19% drop chance from the Muru/Entropius encounter. It's mostly used in Magic Family strategies and primarily for bite, though Dreadful Breath and Consume Corpse can also be useful depending on the fight. The Sunblade Micro Defender comes in 1 skin, 3 breeds, and is considered medium utility on Xufu's pet guides. It has a 17% drop chance from the Brutalis encounter. Though any breed is likely fine, the strategies that call for specific ones will ask for the HS and HP breeds. HS is likely to utilize Interrupting Jolt and possibly to outspeed an enemy's ability. As for HP, this is likely because this pet is mostly used for Armageddon, and the damage of this ability is impacted by the power stat. The Wretched Servant comes in 1 skin, 1 breed, and is considered high utility on Xufu's pet guides. It has a 24% drop chance from the Eridar Twins encounter. This pet is almost exclusively used for humanoid family strategies, as it used to be one of the only humanoid pets with magic abilities. For this reason, you'll mostly see Nether Blast, Weakness, and Consume Magic slotted. If you aren't facing a very fast enemy, Weakness can put this pet just ahead of the other humanoids with magic abilities. Though, if you need to avoid big hit abilities, you'll want to look elsewhere. The Phoenix Hatchling comes in 1 skin, 1 breed, and drops from Kael'thas Sunstrider in the Magister's Terrace dungeon at a roughly 8% drop rate. It's considered medium utility on Xufu's, likely because of its speed and the fact it has Immolate and Conflagrate, the latter of which is a great elemental ability. All the pets in Sunwell Plateau and Magister's Terrace are cageable. The Blood Elves have called the resplendent Eversong Woods home for millennia, but the stewardship of this forested region has not been without its perils. Bent on harnessing the elves' mystical Sunwell, Prince Arthas and the Scourge carved a path of destruction through the heart of Quel'Danas during the Third War, leaving a tainted scar across Eversong Woods. Thus far, the elves have worked extensively to drive the lingering undead from their lands and cleanse the wounds of Arthas' assault, but the task is far from over, as Quel'Danas looks towards a new future. Ensuring the safety and well-being of Eversong will be a crucial first step. The Eversong Woods' pet level is 1 to 2. The wild pets that can be found in the Eversong Woods are the cat, rabbit, ruby sapling, small frog, snake, and toad. The cat comes in 4 skins: ragdoll, black tabby, orange and white tabby, and silver with gray stripes, and 4 breeds. For this pet, I'd recommend the pure speed breed. That way you don't have to slot Screech to make yourself faster and lose out on using Rake. Because of this, I'd use Pounce over Claw, because Pounce's damage is static, whereas Claw's damage is variable. I would also slot Devour over Prowl, simply because the cat really doesn't have any good big hit moves to pair it with, but that choice will depend on the fight and your preference. Overall, the cat will be something you pull out to use against critter enemies and not much else. The rabbit comes in 2 skins, brown and white, and 6 breeds. A good rule of thumb for rabbits is the faster the better. Its moveset is very suited to speed, which can give an extra hit to flurry, an extra round of dodge, burrowing first to avoid damage, and leaving the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1 for your next pet. So I'd recommend either the speed or speed balance breeds. An SS breed will get you 357 speed with only 227 power, but if you're looking for one that might have a little more oomph, the SB has 322 speed and 240 power. The ruby sapling comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds. This pet doesn't have a very high utility on Zufus, so it's likely that any breed will be fine. That said, I'd go with the health speed breed to try and be faster than your enemy so you can get Iron Bark on and not have any gaps in the defense it provides. Because of this, I'd also slot Poisoned Branch instead of Thorns, just in case the enemy's attack can't get past the damage mitigation of Iron Bark. For slot 3, it'll depend on the fight. The small frog comes in 4 skins, light brown with dark brown spots, light green, orange and blue, and lime green with orange feet, and 2 breeds. Neither of the breeds are particularly spectacular, so you'll want to look at power. That leaves us with the speed balance breed. This will help with how much your healing wave heals for, as well as the building damage of Frog Kiss, or how much your swarm of flies ticks for, depending on what you're looking to do. The snake comes in 4 skins, black, light brown with dark brown stripes, lime green, and red, and 2 breeds. It has the typical snake moveset, so you can either go for the pure speed if you need something faster in your roster for avoidance with burrow, or the pure balance if you want to use it to build Vicious Fang and use Counter-Strike. However, aside from the speed stat, the other stats don't vary too widely, so you're fine grabbing either breed. If you need to get faster with the balance breed, you can always slot Hiss. The toad comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds. Since none of the breeds have any kind of decent speed, you'll want to look at power, which leaves us with the health power breed. This will help with how much your healing wave heals for, as well as the building damage of Frog Kiss or how much your swarm of flies ticks for, depending on what you're looking to do. Jilanne is a pet vendor located in Fairbreeze Village. She will sell you 3 different kinds of Dragonhawk pets: the golden Dragonhawk hatchling, the red Dragonhawk hatchling, and the silver Dragonhawk hatchling. All these pets are cageable. All 3 hatchlings have the same moveset, so I'll be going over all 3 of them here. The red and silver come in 3 breeds, while the golden comes in 2. For the red Dragonhawk, I'd go for the power speed for that nice 305 power stat. For the Silver Dragonhawk, you'll want the Pure Speed breed with the 357 speed stat. For the Golden breed, either will be fine, or you can get one of each just in case. Which pet you use will depend on what you slot in slot 1. If you're slower than your enemy, you'll want Claw, and if you're faster, you'll want Quills. Unless the enemy takes weak damage from one, then choose the other. Otherwise, you'll mostly see Conflagrate and Flamethrower slotted, though Flame Breath will be a great choice if you're going against a magic pet. Jarson Everlong is a racial pet vendor located in Falcon Wing Square, and he will sell you pets depending on your race listed below. As for the allied races, I believe they will receive a pet based on the race they most closely resemble. So a Zandalari will get a black king snake, a High Mountain will get a brown prairie dog, and so on. The black king snake comes in one skin and one breed. It is the racial pet for trolls and orcs and has the standard snake moveset. The king snake has 325 speed, which means you can likely use burrow for avoidance or have a speed advantage to build Vicious Fang. Even if you're not faster, you can use Hiss to decrease the enemy's speed, or use Counter Strike while you're slower. As said, this pet is cageable, so you can purchase it on the auction house. But it would probably be easiest to just roll a troll or orc and buy one from the vendor. The Shore Crawler comes in one skin, 2 legacy breeds, and 1 current breed. At the moment, you can only purchase this pet in one breed, the Balance breed. The other 2 breeds were retired in patch 5.2, however, if someone had one of the breeds prior to this change, the pet will remain that breed. This is the racial pet for goblins and has a standard crab moveset. The Jade Crane Chick comes in 1 skin, 1 legacy breed, and 1 current breed. At the moment, you can only purchase this pet in one breed, the Balance breed. The other breed was retired in patch 5.2, however, if someone had the other breed prior to this change, the pet will remain that breed. This is the racial pet for Pandarans and has a slightly divergent moveset from flyers with similar movesets. It has Jade Skin, which can be helpful in keeping your flying buff longer by reducing damage, and Flock, which can apply the Shattered Defenses debuff. The Brown Prairie Dog comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds. This is the racial pet for Taurens. I am not a big fan of vendor pets having multiple breeds, and given the pet isn't particularly unique or spectacular, any of the breeds will be fine. If you really want a specific breed, the Pure Speed breed has a really nice speed stat of 341, which is great for burrow and crouch. We just went over it, but we'll go over it again. The Golden Dragonhawk Hatchling comes in 1 skin and 2 breeds. This is the racial pet for Blood Elves, and it has the standard Dragonhawk Hatchling moveset. Again, I'm not a big fan of vendors having multiple breeds. However, all the Dragonhawk Hatchlings with the same moveset are going to be vendor pets. Given that the Silver Dragonhawk Hatchling has a much better speed stat with its speed breed, that would be the one I'd focus on. As such, either of the breeds for the Golden Dragonhawk will be fine. The Undercity Cockroach comes in 1 skin and 4 breeds. This is the undead racial pet and has a standard cockroach moveset. Again, we see a vendor with multiple breeds for a pet, but most of the time cockroaches are used for Apocalypse. This move requires the pet that casts it to be alive, so you might want to go heavy on the health, but usually you're applying Apocalypse and switching your cockroach out. If you plan on doing more with it, you might want the Speed breed to utilize the bonus hit to flank and to apply survival faster, but generally you won't see much use beyond Apocalypse for these pets, so any breed will do. Silvermoon City is the crown jewel of the Blood Elves and their capital city. It is nestled in the northern reaches of the Eversong Woods at the northernmost tip of the Eastern Kingdoms in their ancestral homeland of Quel'Danas. In the city, you can find a few wild battle pets and a guild vendor that sells pets your guild has earned. The wild pets that can be found in Silvermoon City are the cat, mouse, and rabbit. The cat comes in 4 skins: ragdoll, black tabby, orange and white tabby, and silver with gray stripes, and 4 breeds. For this pet, I'd recommend the Pure Speed breed. That way you don't have to slot Screech to make yourself faster and lose out on using Rake. Because of this, I'd use Pounce over Claw, because Pounce's damage is static, whereas Claw's damage is variable. I would also slot Devour over Prowl, simply because the cat doesn't really have any good big hit moves to pair it with. But that choice will depend on the fight and your preference. Overall, the cat will be something to pull out to use against critter enemies and not much else. The mouse comes in 2 skins, brown and white, and 5 breeds. 3 of the breeds are fairly speedy, and having any of those, the pure speed, power speed, or speed balance, would probably work well. If you're looking for overwhelming speed, go for the pure speed breed. Having greater speed means you can use survival at a point that's most beneficial for you. It can pair nicely with comeback, and of course, flurry will always benefit from speed by giving you a bonus hit. Greater speed than your enemy will also leave them with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1 if your pet dies. The rabbit comes in 2 skins, brown and white, and 6 breeds. A good rule of thumb for rabbits is the faster the better. Its moveset is very suited to speed, which can give an extra hit to flurry, an extra round of dodge, burrowing first to avoid damage, and leaving the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1, so I'd recommend either the pure speed or speed balance breeds. An SS breed will get you 357 speed with only 227 power, but if you're looking for one that might have a little more oomph, the speed balance has 322 speed and 240 power. Larissia is the guild vendor in Silvermoon City and will sell you pets that your guild has earned through various guild achievements. The pets she will potentially sell are the Armadillo Pup, Dark Phoenix Hatchling, Death Watch Hatchling, Little Terrace, the Guild Herald, and the Guild Page. The Armadillo Pup comes in 1 skin and 2 breeds, and I've made my stance clear on how I feel about vendors having multiple breeds of pets. Because of this, and the fact that its moveset isn't terribly fantastic, and you can get the Stone Armadillo through pet battles, I'd say picking up either breed will be fine. The Armadillo Pup is unlocked when your guild has accumulated a kill count of 50,000 critters with the Critter Kill Squad achievement. The Dark Phoenix Hatchling comes in 1 skin, 1 breed, and you can currently only have 1 in your collection. It is one of a handful of pets with Dark Rebirth, and despite it being a flying pet, it classes as an elemental. Its power and speed stats aren't great, but it's got some decent health. And if you can time Dark Rebirth just right, it's almost like having a mechanical pet with some decent elemental moves. The Dark Phoenix Hatchling is unlocked when your guild has accumulated 55 reputations to Exalted status with the United Nations achievement. The Death Watch Hatchling comes in 1 skin and 1 breed. While its health and speed are kind of meh, it does have a nice power stat. You could feasibly do Leap, Clobber, then hit the incoming pet with Bite or Wood Chipper for some nice damage, or if you're going against a critter, time your Leap and Feed to kill the opponent off. The Death Watch Hatchling is not currently an achievement that can be unlocked by guilds. The only way you can get this pet is by joining a guild that got the Challenge Warlords Gold Guild Edition when it was a current achievement, in which the guild had to complete every Warlords of Draenor Challenge Mode dungeon with a rating of Gold while in a guild group. I'll be putting a link to the Warcraft Pets forum for the Death Watch Hatchling guilds that you could try to join and get the pet. Little Terrace comes in 1 skin, 1 breed, and you can currently only have 1 in your collection. It's one of only 4 Dragonkins with Surge of Power, and if you don't need to Howl Bomb the target, it can be a nice replacement for Chrominius since it has almost the same power and a little more health. Little Terrace is unlocked when someone in the guild obtains the Dragon Wrath, Terrace's Rest legendary weapon, which in turn gives the guild the achievement Dragon Wrath, Terrace's Rest Guild Edition. I'll put a link to the steps on how to get this legendary weapon in the info section. The Guild Herald is a non-combat pet that is unique to each character, meaning that it won't be shared across characters like your other pets. If you want this pet for all your characters, you'll need to purchase one for each of them. The Guild Herald is unlocked when your guild has cumulatively looted 100,000 gold from creatures with the Profit Sharing achievement. You will also lose the Guild Heralds if you leave the guild. The guild page is also a non-combat pet that is unique to each character, meaning that it won't be shared across characters like your other pets. If you want this pet for all your characters, you'll need to purchase one for each of them. The guild page is unlocked when your guild has accumulated an honorable kill for each class of each race on an enemy player level 35 currently, or higher, and completes the Alliance Slayer achievement. For Horde, this includes the Alliance races of Pandaren, Human, Dwarf, Gnome, Night Elf, Draenei, and Worgen. You will also lose the guild page when you leave the guild. Now we're moving on to the Ghostlands. The pet level here is 3 to 6. This shadowy region of Quel'Danas has seen much death and destruction in recent years. Ruined and deadened by the Scourge's march to Silvermoon, the Ghostlands are a haunted, plagued, decrepit, and dangerous area. Vengeful phantoms of the battles with the Scourge and a majority of the undead remnants left over from the invasion of Quel'Danas still linger here, as well as the most vile traitors to the elven people. The wild pets that can be found in this zone are the larva, maggot, rat, small frog, snake, spider, spirit crab, and toad. The larva comes in 2 skins, white and yellow, and 1 breed. It definitely goes heavy on the health, medium on the power, and it doesn't have much speed. The moveset is kind of all over the place, though you'll probably want to combine any of the abilities you choose with acidic goo so you can hit your enemies with the 25% damage debuff. The maggot comes in 2 skins, beige and white, and 2 breeds. Maggots are known more for their health as opposed to power or speed, and the moves aren't anything to write home about. Just like the larva, the moveset is kind of all over the place, though you'll probably want to combine any of the abilities you choose with acidic goo so you can hit your enemies with the 25% damage debuff. The rat comes in 3 skins, brown, gray, and white, and 4 breeds. Given that most of the breeds are fairly speedy, having any of the ones over 300 speed, the pure speed, health speed, or speed balance would probably work well. If you're looking for overwhelming speed, go for the pure speed. Survival can pair nicely with comeback. Flurry will always benefit from speed by giving you a bonus hit, and being faster with stampede means you can leave 2 rounds of shattered defenses on the enemy instead of 1. The small frog comes in 4 skins, light brown with dark brown spots, light green, orange and blue, and lime green with orange feet, and 2 breeds. Neither of the breeds are particularly spectacular, so you'll want to look at power. That leaves us with the speed balance breed. This will help with how much your healing wave heals for, as well as the building damage of frog kiss, or how much your swarm of flies dot ticks for, depending on what you're looking to do. The snake comes in 4 skins, black, light brown with dark brown stripes, lime green, and red, and 2 breeds. It has the typical snake moveset, so you can either go for the pure speed if you need something faster in your roster for avoidance with burrow, or the pure balance if you want to use it to build Vicious Fang and use Counter Strike. However, aside from the speed stat, the other stats don't vary too widely, so you're fine grabbing either breed. If you need to get faster with the pure balance, you can always slot Hiss. The spider comes in 2 skins, beige and light green, and green and yellow, and 3 breeds. Spiders are another one of the copy-paste pets where we have quite a few with the same moveset. If you're missing a speedy spider from your roster, I'd say get a pure speed, or if you already have one, grab a speed balance to give up a little speed for a little more power and health. The spirit crab comes in 1 skin and 2 breeds. Since both breeds have the same power stat and neither have decent speed, we'll want to look at health. As such, you'll want the pure health breed, though either will likely be fine. This pet is considered high utility on Zufus, mostly for undead family type strategies. Still, it can be a good undead pet to use to mitigate damage with Shell Shield, then surge or snap until the enemy is dead. However, this pet's chosen moves will depend greatly on the fight. The toad comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds. Since none of the breeds have any kind of decent speed, you'll want to look at power, which leaves us with the health power breed. This will help with how much your healing wave heals for, as well as the building damage of Frog Kiss, or how much your swarm of flies ticks for, depending on what you're looking to do. This pet drops in the Zul'Aman instance as a result of removing hexes upon Zul'Aman forest frogs using the Amani hex stick, which drops from mobs in the instance. Roughly 1 in 50 hexes removed will yield Mojo. The player using the hex stick is the one that will receive Mojo, so if you're farming for this pet, be sure you're the one removing the hexes. Mojo will respond to a /kiss emote by whispering an alluring comment, 8 possible whispers, and the player will be polymorphed into a random frog for 15 seconds. A love-struck Mojo will then follow the polymorphed player. Mojo has a typical frog moveset and is considered low utility on Zufus. As such, Mojo is just a collector's pet obtained in a fun way. This pet is also cageable. And that's it. We've completed our visit to the Isle of Quel'Danas, the Eversong Woods, and the Ghostlands for pet collecting around Azeroth and beyond. On our next stop, we'll be heading to the Eastern Plaguelands and Western Plaguelands. If you have any questions or suggestions for content you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I wish you all the best of luck, thank you for stopping by, and happy battling!